Yo, what up? I'm Johnny from the Browning, and you're watching SoundlinkTV.
What is up, everybody? Trent with SoundlinkTV here at the Firmament with Johnny from the Browning. How you doing, man?
Good, chilling.
Johnny, you're on your way to buy some socks, weren't you, before this?
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm on my last two pairs, and I don't know how I got these ones I'm wearing, but they're like so thin you can see through them, and my shoes smell horrible, and so every time I take my shoes off after the show, it's a nightmare in the van, and so I need some thicker socks to, kind of hold the odor in.
So I guess on tour, like, that's underwear and socks may be disposable. Like, you keep your shirts and pants and all that to wash, but like the socks, you just chuck them in the trash.
Yeah, if after a shower or something, like any undergarments you're wearing to go in the trash. So yeah.
How many pairs of underwear or socks have you gone through this tour so far?
Not enough. Honestly, I think this is my third pair of socks in 3 weeks, and I think third pair of underwear in 3 weeks. So,
getting kind of personal here. How many times do you re-wear the same pair of underwear on tour?
Well, I only wear the pair of underwear once, but it's for about a week and a half usually. But still playing shows every day is pretty nasty. So that's how it is, though. Like,
there you go. If those socks smell bad or your shoes smell bad, I can't even imagine how bad your underwear smells after a week straight of shows.
Those I don't test,
So speaking of the tour you're at with Betraying the Martyrs and Extortionist, typical question here. What's honestly, I guess, how's that been going? You guys put out a record last year and everything, and Betraying the Martyrs have been around for a while too. So how's this been going for you guys?
It's been great. Like, it's our best headliner we've ever done in the States, and if you go on either our Spotify or Betraying the Martyrs Spotify, it's fans also listen to, and it's either Betraying the Martyrs or the Browning. Like, we share a lot of fans, and so the people coming to the shows are having a great time. And Extortionist is kind of the oddball on the bill because they're just kind of like heavy. I don't even know what to call them. Whatever, weird or not even weird, just super heavy. Like, obnoxiously heavy. And so it's really good. People are having a good time, and we're having more people show up than normal. And like, we have our own like custom lighting rig that I built and programmed before the tour, and so I feel like we're putting on like a proper headlining show now as compared to before. So playing a 65-minute set of pretty much everything off the new album, and we're only playing like one old song, and people are still loving it, and it's a good show. Like, lighting, just everything's tied together. It feels like a actual proper headline set now.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are, both bands are heavy. Like, you guys and Betraying are both heavy, but like, you don't really sound the same, so it's kind of interesting that you guys have a lot of the same common fans.
We do. I think honestly it's just people that like music that has like a lot of extra elements to it. They have a lot of piano and keyboard and stuff, and then we obviously have the same. It might be, we have a lot of stuff that's orchestral and piano and stuff as well, but obviously mainly ours is like synthesizers. But yeah, we share a lot of fans. Also, the vocals are probably similar for a lot of people in the sense of like the deathcore vocals. And so yeah, we share a lot of fans, and so we've been wanting to do something with them for a long time now, just because we knew that's the case, that we share a lot of fans, and so finally got to make it happen, and it was good. Yeah.
Before we get into the new album and everything, something I've always found interesting. Like, you guys have been around for a while. Like, I guess late 2000, early 2010s or something like that is when you guys started catching on and stuff. And you guys have had the dubstep, electronic, stuff in your music. But around that time when all the other stuff was popular with other bands, whether it be Attack, Asking Alexandria, whoever, like, they got a lot of shit for it. But you guys seem to get a lot of fans. The same, a lot of people weren't really shitting on you guys, at least from what I could see. So what is it about you guys doing the whole like electronic, heavy dubstep, metalcore thing or deathcore thing that a lot of the heavier music fans respect about versus, those other bands who did it and they got a lot of shit for it?
Well, I think the obvious difference is that ours doesn't feel like a gimmick. A lot of stuff like Attack, it would like be just a normal metalcore band, and then it'd be a random like super corny techno part. Okay. And like the Browning, like, I've actually been doing the Browning since 2005 as a solo project. Nice. So that was even before like Attack and all them were out, and so like I got influenced by like European hardstyle dance music, not like the like poppy trance stuff, and European hardstyle is very dark, very aggressive like dance music. And so the Browning stuff is like, one, it doesn't sound as like corny as some of that stuff. I mean, I love like early 2000s like trance and stuff like that, but The Browning side of it is electronically is like really dark and aggressive. So our techno parts aren't like, it's still like super aggressive and evil sounding, and it also feels like for the Browning, I think it feels a lot more incorporated than just a random afterthought, because like it's 100% of the time there's electronics. It's not like it's something that's added on at the end. Sometimes I write an electronic part first. Sometimes it's a very, very rare occasion. I think I've only written 2 songs ever for the Browning that I did a whole metal song and then added electronics. Usually it's like part by part, I add it as it goes and make it like incorporated into its own song. And none of it's like rehashed freaking bullcrap. Like I make sounds specific for each song. Like everything is very specifically done and intertwined. So I think people do not like because me too, like there's a lot of bands that combine a lot of different genres, and I typically don't like it when other bands do it. And I know that sounds stupid coming from me, but like some band will be doing like a super soft thing, and super soft like R&B sounding something, and going to just like deathcore freaking super heavy tritone breakdown, and I'm like, what are they doing? Because sometimes it feels so out of place, but with the Browning, everything flows so together that I think that metal fans are like, this actually works somehow because it's still dark and intertwined.
Now with the new album and stuff, and you doing this for a while, like at least for me, it seems like the whole EDM thing is getting bigger than it has been. This place actually does a lot of those types of shows here. And so I noticed, and I saw today, you guys posted a teasing something maybe with Cell Dweller or like some kind of like, feelers out there. So have you seen a result with the new album, or what you do maybe behind the scenes get bigger because of the whole like EDM craze and other artists, EDM artists combining metal elements to their DJ sets and stuff? Have you seen like the Browning, I guess, take off a little bit more because of this whole like blending of worlds that's going on in the EDM scene?
I don't know if it's specifically because of that. Like we have had like a major growth from this album, but I almost give that to just the fact that we are like, there's bands that eventually get big just because they've been a band for a while. And like I honestly think, because the thing is, the songs we released on this one, it's not something way out there than what we've done before. And so it's either because it's just we keep putting out music consistently and keep touring consistently. I'm not sure about like if it's because something else happening elsewhere, or if finally we've started to get the exposure and people are like, dang, this is actually pretty cool. And because the first song we released on this album, it's called Carnage, and it's been to a T a Browning song, like super fast aggressive metal into a huge freaking hype like techno part into a rap part, back into double bass windmill metal. So it's like that's like not something that's not like out of the box for the Browning, but now we're getting some push to where people actually hear it, and maybe our production's better now, maybe something that's like is catching some people's eye, or maybe we've just been out for so long that it's such a common name for people to see and they finally have given it a listen. But we are like right now 100,000 monthly more than what we were at the peak of our last album. So we're currently, there's 100,000 more people listening to us now than on the last one on Spotify. So yeah, it's going good. I'm not sure exactly what to equate it to. Honestly, I'm not much into the techno like scene or EDM scene. I'm not, we're not like a party band to any extent of that. Our music might seem it, but like we're really disconnected from that.
I guess there's a bad way to ask it. Not necessarily you guys haven't put in the work and you've seen the fruits of that labor, but more so a crossover of fans from another genre coming into it.
There are a lot of rappers that are incorporating a lot of like metal into their stuff. People like Ghostmane, Jake Hill, and like Suicide Boys or even Tech Nine has like some metal aspects in their stuff. So like with how big rap is right now, I feel like maybe that is something. And like Carnage has Jake Hill, and I found out of him first because he did like RuneScape rap songs, and I'm a big RuneScape fan. And then second because he had songs that got big in the metal community because it was like hip hop into like breakdowns and then back in. Now, little do a lot of people know the Browning's been doing that since 2009,
Yeah.
but still, now a lot of these big rappers are doing it, and so maybe like that's an aspect that people have just finally caught on to, or that they see other people doing it, like, oh, the Browning does that also, and so like there are more people combining genres, especially in hip hop. Like people are getting a lot more experimental, and
Yeah, like Scarlord, I think he's really big right now too, going out with like Bring Me and playing all these rock festivals, which is kind of cool.
yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I back like the combination of stuff because that's really the only way you can be unique now, is to like you can't necessarily create a new genre in itself, but you can take some elements from different things and push them together and create something new. And we've just been, I've been very adamant about like not changing what the Browning's doing, because I fully believe, like, if you've ever been to our concert, like, doesn't matter if we're opening, headlining, like the crowd pops off for us no matter what, and people like come out and they love our live performance. So I know if people saw it and people like actually, if it got exposure, then people would love it. And so yeah, I really do think now it's just we have that exposure to where more people are checking it out, and because I knew it would be appealing to people if they just finally got to hear it. And we do have like, there's one extra element that really got added to the new album, which is like a big rock element. It's something I've wanted to add, but I was never comfortable enough with like my rock singing voice to actually do it full on. And so now there's they're singing on like half the album. Now it's still a very aggressive singing, but like I think that is an element that was necessary to give it enough dynamics for people that like that, because before the voice was the same pretty much through the whole album. Now there's a lot of dynamics in the different voices throughout it, and so that was a big focus for me on this album, was it needed a new element that gave it more dynamics, and it was a singing voice that was there. So awesome. I think that is another reason that people are like into it.
You kind of like answered one of my questions, like with that, was talking about the new album and like the changes and keeping it the same and all that. But so I guess since you just did that, I guess what's next for you guys? Like after this tour, it's already spring. The year's going by fast, and so like I guess going to the like midsummer or whatever. What do you guys have that you can talk about?
I think we're taking summer off. We're in a position now where we used to tour nonstop. There was like a 4-year period where we were doing like 250 shows a year. And like we've played like 1,500 shows now, and that's all. So we've toured a lot, and now I think we're in the position with the exposure we have and where things are going that we can tour a lot less. Instead of doing every tour, we do like a few key tours. And so right now we're scheduled for something that's September through November. It's actually a 52-day tour, like really long compared to what tours do now, but that's the next thing the schedule is in the fall.
Cell Dweller.
I don't know. I wish he's kind of he has like 2 or 3 kids now, and so he's taking touring really chill. Like
just going off the Facebook post.
Yeah, I know.
He's
putting
some feeler out there today.
Yeah, I'll say there's something that's happening with him. I can't say what, but found out that he's actually a big Browning fan.
Nice.
And has been for a while, and his label like really likes the band, and so I got to work with them personally on something.
Okay, cool.
And so yeah, and I was talking to him like, yo, like that would be sick to tour, but he tours like once every 2 years now or something. So I wouldn't be surprised if the next Cell Dweller tour we're not on, because I know I'd be pushing for that. But no, it's not Cell Dweller.
All right, man. Well, thanks for your time today. Thanks for the interview. Looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm Trent with SoundlinkTV, hanging out with the Browning. Thanks for watching.